Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to work at doing something to this little journal cover we created with the faux leather. And I am feeling like I want to do more actual journals instead of, like, I keep making ephemera and I can only use so much before I need a journal to actually put the ephemera in. So I want to use my spring kit. So I've cut out one of the light bulb tulips from that, which is really good timing because the tulips are in bloom currently. So, you know. And then I have a bunch of like bits. I dyed some, I think this is just bridal lace. I got it at the thrift store and I got like 112 millimeters of it for almost nothing. I don't know if I'll use it. I think this might be a little overpowering and a bit too modern, but I've got it ready for something else if I want to use it. And then I was digging through my stash. I'm almost afraid to use this. I might have gotten it at the thrift store, but it might have been my grandmother's. And if it was my grandmother's, it's hard to actually use these things. But I don't know. I don't know. I think that would just be so pretty and it fits so well. And then I coffee dyed some doilies without much success. They're still pretty white, but I kind of like I really like this. I really, really like that with this. And then the other thing I did, I don't know if you can still see the blue on my fingers. I used Distress Oxide. I don't even want to touch this stuff, seriously. I used Distress Oxide spray in Fired Brick. And then I have re-inkers in Walnut Stain and Forest Moss, I think. And I just dropped it on top of it, and then I went to pick it up with just the tips of my fingers like this, and my fingers wound up blue all the way down to here. And then I felt like Lady Macbeth trying to clean it out of my fingers, and I feel like my hands are still, I did probably a month worth of washing yesterday afternoon, just trying to get it out of my fingers. Oh, it was awful. But that is so delicious. But I don't want to touch it. But that color is so good. So good. And then, you know, in the interest of you know, distress. This is drywall tape. Drywallers put this on a wall like so and then putty over it, and it keeps the seams from showing through when you paint over top. If you don't put this on and spackle drywall stuff in between the seams, the seam of your drywall will show. And it's super inexpensive at anywhere, Home Depot, wherever. So I will use this, I just don't know how. And I really don't want to touch Distress anything right now. My rant over. For those of you that don't mind that ink and don't mind Distress all over your fingers, I apologize for being so, I hate this stuff. Yeah. Maybe because I have to cook And when your fingers are like vibrant blue like that, it's like, not sure if I want to eat what I just touched. Guess I could use like, now I get why some people who do this on video use rubber gloves when they do it. But I have like, I don't know, I don't like rubber gloves much either, so here we are. This is me complaining, all done. So I'm gonna glue this down first. I do like this look. Like, I really like that contrast of the white against the red. And I'm not that concerned about whether or not I cover up that on the front. The back is going to have the primary amount of what is the faux leather showing, so it should be fine. I hope you guys are all doing well and had a really good Easter. I know that was last week, but I had company last week for Easter and have just not had a chance to get at doing another video. I did do one earlier this week. I had it up for a couple of days. Well, better part of a week, and nobody looked at it, so I was like, I'm just going to delist that. I think that looks really good. Now, if I'm going to do it the way I had laid that out, I think maybe, pardon me as I futz around. Under, over. Under. Conveniently, there was a little break in the drywall tape. I also grab my well-used parchment paper, and let's use, oh no, let us go with scorched timber. Hoping this will give, it's hard to tell on against here whether or not I'm getting color on that. Am I getting color on that? I think so. Might use This is darker. I find the Distress ink darker than the Oxide. Maybe it's the... Probably shouldn't have done that. I think it's the fact that Oxide tends to go gray. Yeah, that's definitely, I can tell already that's darker, and that's more what I'm looking for, is that really rich dark brown. Pardon my arm if it gets in your way. I'm going to give that a spritz of water because I want to touch that and have blue fingers again. I'm all for that. Let's just let that... Oh, look at that. That's cool. Can you see how that beaded underneath there? It's like a little mini... Now I have to figure out how to get that to stick. So, this is sometimes how I do doilies. I just use like what seems like a stupid amount of glue. Because I figure I can always get the excess off. Oh, that's a wet baby wipe. Oh, that's a dry baby wipe. Because I really want to touch that. And all the scorched timber came off. But you can see a bit of color. That's good. I'm a bit Lady Macbeth with this stuff. I think it could be that I put too much of the Brie inker in. Not intentionally, but... All right, let's talk cheesecloth for a minute. This is cheesecloth. This is available at the dollar store, Dollar Tree, Dollarama, wherever you go for dollar products. It's really, really super open weave. You can see everything through it. It's super lightweight. It is classified as cheesecloth, but it's not super, like, I don't know how to what word to use, but it's like really pliable. You can like make all kinds of stuff with it. You can shred it really easily because the weave is so fine. And then this is also considered cheesecloth. You could also call this muslin. If you were classifying this as muslin, it's very low-grade muslin because it's very open weave, but you can see a huge difference between this and this. Muslin like this, also known as cheesecloth, you can find this at any fabric store, or at you can buy it on Amazon, and it's super inexpensive. It's like really, really, really inexpensive stuff. And then your next one up is unbleached muslin. You can tell unbleached muslin because you can see little brown spots in it. It's basically, I buy this by boat loads. because I used to rust dye fabric, and this is the best stuff for it because it doesn't have any, no bleaching in it, so your fabric property is different. But you can see you can't see through this because it's the same weight as, say, a quilter's cotton. A lot of this stuff, if you're looking for it, you're looking at threads per inch, which if you don't sew means absolutely nothing. But just like if you go threads per inch, if you look at that, that's like, I don't know, 1/4 of a thread per inch. And that would be something like 12 to 15 threads per inch, perhaps even more, because the weave is really tight. That's the basic difference. Open weave, tight weave. One is better for dressmaking, but it will give you different properties when you're using it on a background. Sorry, learning time over. Hopefully that didn't bore you. If it did, I hope you went whizzing past and went and did something else. Made yourself a coffee, had a nap. Okay, am I putting this on there or am I not putting this on there? As far as the front is concerned, it doesn't need it, but I like it on the back. However, I'm going to go as if I'm just working on the front for now, put this on and then figure out backing, spine and backing once my signatures are sewn in. So again, with this one, I think what I'm going to do is just the same thing that I did with this and just mass put glue on it and then pat it down, because that seems to work really well. Because I can like pat off extra. Now, I think I need my dry wet wipe again. This also allows me to find out where I need to put more glue and whether I want to bunch up this cheesecloth, which I think I probably do. Another thing you will notice is that I have cat hair everywhere. Oh, that wasn't what you were supposed to notice. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it's doing it. I've had it happen before, that because what I put on there is a distress oxide, you get oxidization everywhere that the oxide hits the glue. Because glue is wet, much like water, your what has been distressed is going to react to that, but it is kind of hard to see it on here. Depending upon what I'm doing, I'll get like big bubbles as if I'd sprayed it with water, which I could do. I could definitely oxidize that, but I'm not going to. Part of the reason that I wanted this color is I want it to kind of have that effect, almost like rust, so that it brings out that steampunk vibe. Hopefully my head is not in the way. I felt like it was bumping my camera mount. Get that up there a little. there a little. Then I have a little bit of this lace. It actually came this color. It was gold. Is gold. Still is gold. It isn't a was. It is. That could go in there. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that could go in there like that. I've mentioned before, when you're collaging, if you put something and you're like, cover it later, unless you're like, lay it all out and you're like, okay, it has to be like that. Don't ever think collage has to turn out the way that you set it to begin with, because when you're doing anything that's art related, it's a process. It's going to grow and develop as you do it, so that you may look at it and you may... It's harder with paper because paper is dimensional. So you're adding an element here and an element there as you kind of go. And one of the reasons that I work the way I do is I'm building it as I go along, so that I don't ever have to say, okay, now I'm done. And then you're like, great, now I have to take it apart and put it back together, because for me, that will never work. Like, when I lay it down, if I try to get it the way I had it, it's going to be like, I don't know how I had that. So I build it in layers and glue in layers as I'm going. And I kind of am like, okay, this layer and this layer look good together. And I might put what is my final layer on top of everything and go, okay, that will work if I put that like that. And then this is my end product. But then I'll put a whole bunch of stuff in between and still maybe test this out and go, is this going to work once it's all together? But I don't necessarily say this is how it has to be. And then I'm trying to, like, because I'll never get that to do. Like, it will never happen. And hopefully, oh, I must have got that wet at some point in time. Note to self, don't spit on your inkjet digitals. Not that that's, I'm not saying I spit on it. I probably put water on it at some point in time. Oh, that's pretty. Now, what I kind of want to do is take that little bit of weirdness. This could wind up going all over everywhere because it's like super like that, like thready bits that are might fall out all over everywhere, but I'm hoping if I glue it down that they'll stay where I put them. And then I can like pretend that I didn't glue it to the piece of paper. All right, so now that light bulb is only on regular copy paper. I could have put it on heavier, like a photo paper or something of that nature, so that it was almost more dimensional. But I had it because I was printing for just to see what pages would look like. And what I'm trying to do is use stuff in my stash for one thing, and yeah, that kind of thing. I think that should stick down. Let's, pardon my arm, just put a bit more brown on that. For the grunge factor. And then I will do more to that spine as I go. And I might, when I'm at the spine, pull this up and put something underneath it. I'm not sure. Depends upon whether I do a hidden spine in here or a sewn spine. And I think because this is lightweight, I'm just going to sew my signatures through this piece of, like, the cardstock is not that heavy. It will need reinforcement, and the cover itself will need reinforcement as well. This was made with a cardboard box. I can't now remember. It's in that video that I did when I put it together. There's a bit of warping, but when I put end papers in here, it will help stabilize it and strengthen it and take away some of that warping. And it depends upon whether I want to do like the same with the end spine, which I might, to give it some stability. If I don't put something on this spine, what will happen is it will bow with use, which could be a good thing. It's a pretty tiny little journal, so yeah, that's something to take into consideration as well. Put it that way so you can see what I did. So until next time, I hope you have a lovely crafty day. Bye.